In the meantime, the Nigeria government has expressed commitment to return 15 million out-of-school children back to the classroom by the year 2027. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, disclosed this in Abuja at a one-day retreat on quick wins in the ministerial deliverables between 2023 and 2027. Maman explained that the learning crisis had also been a major issue, which he said was a bad product of the out-of-school menace, hence must be taken seriously. He said having robust policies in place was not enough to tackle the challenges, but delivering on the policies would go a long way in addressing the problems of out-of-school children. And now joining us on the news is Rotimi Eyitayo, CEO, Teammasters Consulting and Education Development Expert. Rotimi, it's nice to have you around.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Well, no doubt the education sector in Nigeria faces several challenges, as indicated by available statistics. In your view, would you say that you've seen improvement in the education sector, or it's been abysmal? And what are the factors that you would use to tally your response?
Thank you once again. I believe that there's been some improvement within the year. We've seen a big embrace of AI. We've seen an incredible embrace to inclusive education and the development in that. We've also seen opportunities in skill migration within the teacher space. So I think that there's been an improved quality in the level of education. However, it might not be as spread as we would like it to be, but then there's been an improvement.
Well, the repeated attacks on schools and universities, as well as on teachers and students, were said to have undermined the education sector at this time. So it is estimated that more than 1,400 schools were destroyed, damaged, or looted, primarily in the Northeast, and more than 600,000 children have lost access to education. So the tertiary education subsector also suffered unprecedented setbacks this year alone as a result of prolonged strikes by the various staff unions in the institutions. So looking at the impact insecurity has had on Nigeria's education system this year, what strategies should be implemented to ensure continuity of learning?
Well, I think without saying so many things, taking us away from the core context of the conversation, I think it's high time that we begin to think about developing the teacher infrastructure. A lot has been said that there's a need for us to revamp teacher quality, which is one of the top issues that education in Nigeria is facing. And to address the issue, I think by the time we begin to look at teacher infrastructure, we'll see a huge drive towards technology, ability to be able to ensure that we do not stick to the brick and mortar concept of education. We want to make sure that the classrooms are borderless as well, and also to be able to create a better exchange when it comes to the learning experience. So for those who probably don't have the physical infrastructure enough, or they don't have the even spread availability of teachers, I think that through the use of technology and creativity, we should be able to a large extent, treat or tackle such situations.
Well, in light of the inadequate compensation for teachers, concerns have been expressed about a 29% reduction in the number of teachers in Nigeria's basic school system due to the COVID-19 crisis, also citing the United Kingdom's recent invitation to Nigerian teachers. So what initiatives were in place in 2023 or should be in place to address the brain drain and retain highly skilled education professionals?
Well, I think it's something we can't run away from. The development in the world is such a is at a rapid pace and state that it's almost like the survival of the fittest. So I think we need to begin to think about
Hello, Rotimi. I think we just
reward ability to be able to address the infrastructure gap, ability to be able to also hello.
Okay, yes. Go ahead, please.
So I think we need to look at that. So I think we need to look at the angle of the reward structure, definitely. Sometimes we might need to be able to up the game from the area of trying to lower the restriction or the entry level of having teachers. because we have an issue at hand, and that's the supply of teachers. Sometimes you think about it that we have a bit of the population of teachers more at the urban level and not at the rural level. And if you take into the ratio of the classroom, which you have about 45 to 1 teacher, you find out that there are states that have too many teachers, and there are some states that don't have teachers. They don't even have subject teachers. So I think by the time we begin to create and adopt a reward system and probably lower the bar, restricting people to get into the profession, we should be able to have that issue addressed in the shortest possible time.
Rotimi, Eyitayo, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you for having me.